I like the way that last video ended. So abrupt. Makes sense. It makes sense, cause I do that. I start and stop, just like my brain. Just like my brain. Do you hear thelonious? Thelonious is breathing. That's the name of my car. I named him after a jazz musician that was given electroconvulsive therapy. I think that shit would happen to me, but I know how to maintain. If you don't know how to maintain, you will be thrown somewhere. You know? Back in the day, I didn't know how to maintain because I was a drunk and they put me in a rehab clinic and then I was forced to take medication and all that. So, yes. That's why I tell people, you gotta maintain. Okay? Because you don't want to be told what to do. You don't want to be forced to do things you don't want to do. Now, I'm very good at playing along when I have to play along. You know? Because I don't want to spend any additional time in a place run by the state. So, yeah. Anyway. I just wrote this down. That addiction is the result of trauma, stress, boredom. Okay? So, a lot of people will be like, I'm so interesting because I'm addicted to pills. No, you're really not. Somebody molested you. Okay? That doesn't make you interesting. That just makes you traumatized. You know? So, when people get addicted to stuff, it's either because of something bad that happened, or it's because there's something that's currently going on that's stressing them out, so they're trying to escape it. Or they're just bored. And I would say a lot of the time people are just bored. Like, that's why they get addicted to stuff. It becomes a habit, and then eventually that habit turns into this full-blown dependence, you know? It's really because they can't find something to do. Nah. There's plenty of shit to do if you look around, if you look around. But most people looking around are only gonna see one thing, and I think you know damn well what that is. Now. I'm so glad that I didn't cave in to all this stuff that's corrupting the majority. And they don't even know it, but they sure love to show it every chance they get. I'm talking about the smartphones. Well, that's not true. It's not all I see, but it's a lot of what I see. And I don't want to focus too much on this, but when all of these other problems in society are made 1,000 times worse, and nobody... Sorry, I fucked up, so I thought I'd make it worth it. I hope you enjoyed that. Was it funny? They pretend that they don't notice why everything is falling apart, but they want to complain about everything falling apart without ever having to dissect the real reason. And I don't think it's just the smartphones, but I think that, like, all the issues that we already had, yes, they're being magnified and exemplified. Basically, a smartphone is like kerosene. So, like, all of the societal issues, like ego and division, like all that shit, it's just been exacerbated. I love that word. I love it so much. But I'm trying not to use it as much as I want to use it, just to prove that I know other words too. But yeah, exemplified is a good word though, I think. Magnified, exemplified, exaggerated maybe. Multiplied. But everyone will accuse me of being unrealistic. They'll say, Amy, you're not too pragmatic. I think I am though, because I still have a functioning frontal lobe. My prefrontal cortex is fully intact. I'll tell my hippocampus that I'll be back, and I never come back. I never come back. I never come back.
why I gave up weed. My hippo cannabis, right? That's really fucking clever, dude. My jokes are so brilliant. My jokes are so brilliant. My jokes are so brilliant. Too bad that everybody's a retard, so I can't even appreciate it. And no, I don't think that everybody that does things that I don't is a loser, is a loser, is a loser. But let's just say that people that don't wanna be conscious of their lifestyle can't ever be a chooser, be a chooser, be a chooser. So you're probably just a loser, just a loser, just a loser. Most people are, most people are, most people are. But I'm a star in my own mind. And that's all that matters, that's all that matters. Just call me delusional, it works every time. If somebody says, if somebody says, if somebody says something that you don't like, makes you think too much or feel all the wrong stuff that makes you question anything, just call that person crazy. It works like a charm, it works like a charm, so you can disarm whatever credentials they have. So you don't have to do anything different. Brilliant. This is what all the Twitter heads do. Twitter heads, political junkies. Just narcissists, whatever you want to call them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't want to get caught up in the same world. It's a bear trap, it's a bear trap, it's a bear trap. I feel like it's just as bad talking about it and harping on it. But if I ignore it, I also think that's pretty bad. There's just no way to win, is there? Well, I got Jesus though, so yes, there is a way to win, but I digress. I know you don't want to hear that, do you? I got the kingdom, I got the kingdom, I got the kingdom, I got the kingdom, I got the king, kingdom. But I couldn't run and hide from a conscience. Maybe other people don't have a conscience. Or maybe it's just different. Maybe it's just different. I'm not better than you. I'm not better than you. I'm not better than you. I'm just different. And people that think they're better or less than, or other people are better or less than, will never ever have enough. They'll never ever be enough for themselves. Luckily, I was granted the mind of Christ, and because of that, I can do what I like and not feel guilty about it. At least not anymore. At least not anymore. Do what your heart is compelled to do. 'Cause if it's not yourself to whom you remain true, you will hate yourself, hate yourself, hate yourself, hate yourself. But luckily, I know myself, know myself, know myself. So if I do anything out of the ordinary, or whatever this is, it's probably not very ordinary, but if I do anything contrary to my nature, I'm pretty quick to pick up on the fact that it doesn't suit me. And I don't have to stick to anything that I don't want to be sticking to. That's the beauty of consciousness. That's the beauty of pattern recognition, yes. That's the beauty of understanding and wisdom and all that other good shit. So much good shit. But you gotta wait for it. God gave me the keys to the kingdom, yeah, God gave me the keys to the kingdom. They don't want you to know that it ain't just Peter. Anybody can access it. I'm sure there's somebody, probably a Catholic, but maybe an Orthodox person, probably not though. They probably know that that was hyperbole. Yeah, they probably accuse me of something like blasphemy. They don't even know what blasphemy is. It's okay. Most people don't know what anything is anymore. Welcome to this day and age, y'all. I wonder though, since everything's just a repeat of what's already happened, I was thinking about this when I was on my way back home from church today. I passed a car and the kid driving next to me was vaping and his passenger was vaping, and I was thinking, this is just another version of the same thing. So it's just, you know, smoking, right? smoking cigarettes, that was like a social thing, and now vaping is a social thing, and I don't know, there are like so many good things that happened because of cigarettes, you know? Books were written. Like, are people... It's true! It's fucking true, dude. Books were written. Lots and lots of Frank Zappa albums were made. Alright? It's true. Lots of detectives solved a lot of crimes. I don't see that happening with vape pens. I just don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I am. Hopefully lots and lots of good stuff's being accomplished right now because of vape pens. But man, I miss cigarettes so much. Where are my toothpicks at? Oh shit. There's gotta be one like on the floor somewhere. There's always a toothpick on the floor somewhere. Like I use toothpicks so much that they're like all over the place. Oh shit, I'm jonesing. I'm fucking jonesing. It's okay. We'll get over it. Just pretend. Oh shit. But yeah, what was the point I was trying to make? About how like everything's like a newer version of something else. So like it just seems like everything's so bad. I mean, I think that it is. I think that multiple things can be true at the same time. Like, this age can be really bad because everybody is dumber than they've ever been. But the reason why they're dumber, like, the reason why it's so bad is because they choose to be dumb. So a long ass time ago, people just didn't know stuff. Well, now they have this ability to learn so much. They have these amazing devices. Everybody but me, apparently, has a device in their pocket all the time that has so much access to all kinds of information that could increase their level of knowledge about so many different things. But because they're not smart, like, they're not wise, let's say that. They're not wise in regards to consciousness and their own personal growth. Like, if people aren't interested in personal growth, then they're not going to do anything but abuse something like that, you know? So, that's why this age seems so much worse. But, you know, there's always been bad inventions that have, you know, proven how stupid everybody is. Or how gullible they are, really. I should say gullible, not stupid. Forgive me. I sound like a bitch. I don't want to be a bitch, though. I really don't. But if that's the worst thing, is me sounding like a bitch, I think I'm still pretty good, you know? There are a lot of women that purposely ruin men's lives. I've never done that. If a man wants to accuse me of doing anything, he probably put me on a pedestal that I told him specifically I do not belong on. Okay? So, I mean, earlier in my life, when I was in shitty relationships, I was definitely more manipulative. But I knew that I was doing it the whole time. So, which is probably worse, actually. But, you know, I was young, and I hadn't been to therapy yet, and I hadn't done all the shadow work, and I hadn't figured out, oh, the trauma and the stress and the boredom, that's why, you know? So, mainly trauma. And then the stress of just existing in this country and being a conscious person surrounded by willingly unconscious people. You know, that is traumatic too. But I'm very, very bored with Americans. Like, I don't know how you can possibly look at your average American and not puke. Okay? And if that makes me sound judgmental or whatever, it's because I want better things for them than what they settle for. You know? I swear, if the TV hadn't been invented, we wouldn't have any of these problems that we have. I guess it's kind of a moot point. It's not like it's going anywhere, and people are gonna realize the error of their ways and just turn back around. You know, I don't think that's ever gonna happen, but let's pretend that it could. Okay, you would see a massive turnaround. But yeah, it's kind of a pipe dream, you know. They call it pipe dream because, like, you're smoking weed. I should look that up. Like, what's the origin of the phrase pipe dream? Like, do you have to be high to have this idea? Is this way too grandiose? Yeah, I mean, like, I make a fuck ton of art, and so it gives my life a lot of fulfillment. And I feel like people don't realize that they have the option to make stuff on their own. So they just get sucked into some world that somebody else created. A lot of the time is predictive programming. It's all for the purpose of, you know, distracting the masses. And yeah, it's depressing in this world, ain't it?